And he said, I would move the people out of my life quicker that needed to get out.
Oh, okay.
He said, I would move the people out of my kids' life that needed to get out.
Oh, that's even harder. Okay.
He said, it's the one thing I didn't do. It's the one thing that cost me today.
Welcome to the Overlap Podcast, big business tactics for small business success. Dive into the intersections of work, fitness, family, faith, and leadership. We believe growth in one area fuels growth in all. Here's your hosts, Sid Sexton and Keith Glynn.
All right, we're back, everybody. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're back on a roll, getting back into the work grind after a little bit of in and out, time off, and busy times during the summer. But back to you with another episode. And before we get into that, what you been up to, man?
I was just going to say before we get into what I've been up to, we've had so many people reach out. Basically, one mad that we weren't putting a podcast out every week. So we figured we'd get back on the game.
Yeah, when Keith's going to turn his phone off so we can really get back in the game.
That was ESPN.
I know the sound. But okay, so what were you saying? Someone is so mad that we weren't putting out one
podcast. They've just been inundating us with calls. Just kidding. One person. Thank you all for not listening, not caring, by the way.
Well, hopefully they were taking some of our advice too.
And stepping back.
I
know. I've been on that.
Yeah, you have. Mm-hmm. It's a common theme with you.
It really is.
Taking time. But speaking of that, you haven't been taking a whole lot of time because you've been super busy with other things. And some of it's, dare I say, rather impressive. So why don't you love to brag on yourself. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
I don't. I want to brag on my community. I'm super blown away by the response that we've gotten to some of the programs that we're putting out right now.
Mm-hmm. This is at Hatch.
And so we did this thing where we brought industry and the tech community together.
Mm-hmm.
Hatch is basically the little brother of the Economic Development Alliance, of Baldwin County. And so we queried our partners at the Economic Development Alliance. We put the problems, we talked about what problems are you having in our office automation, reporting and having multiple reports and needing to bring them together. And so we brought 40 developers in the room. We said, hey, here's industry problems, fix them. Yeah. We gave them 2 weeks.
Instead of a hackathon, it's more of a hatchathon.
Yeah, we gave it a little more time because in a typical hackathon.
Yeah.
And in the late 90s, hackathons were a thing.
Yeah.
You'd lay a phone on the table and see who could jailbreak the phone. You remember people talking about jailbreaking phones, jailbreaking computers, getting free cable. Yeah. It was just basically a bunch of developers trying to steal stuff. Yeah. Well, we wanted to not have half-baked products. We wanted to have fully developed ones. And so what the developer community came out with was quite amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The guy that ultimately got the first prize had a great deal.
Yeah, he did. He took a claims for an insurance company, a pretty well-known one, and built it they were having problems. It's amazing when corporations are still having automation problems that they've not fixed. Yeah. So it's really cool to bring the communities together and let them work together. And then it exposes the development community, which is struggling right now with AI.
I imagine.
Exposing them to local business. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. We do have an episode coming up about utilizing AI in your business and stuff like that. And we'll get into that more. But if you are interested in that, Keith does run with Kai, who I've just blanking on his last name.
Gray.
Thank you very much, Kai.
He runs an organization called Lower Alabama AI, and I know that sounds contradictory, speaking of Alabama and technology, but we actually have some pretty cool stuff going on.
Yeah, some good stuff. You guys meet once a month?
Once a month, first Friday of every month.
First Friday.
And if you live around the country, you can, look at it on our live stream.
There you go. So, Keith's been up to a lot on some. He went on a press tour, so to speak, local press tour. He's been all over the place and hasn't mentioned the podcast once. I'm just disappointed, but that's okay. You guys are here listening. So today, he's staring at me now. All right. So today, we've got, kind of a, it really is the core theme of our podcast, and just reiterating it in a refreshed sort of content or concept, and that is culture carries over, and the core theme being what you do outside of your work life and what you do inside of your work life, they all interact. And
it's kind of what this podcast is about.
It is exactly what this podcast is about. And we've had multiple topics. Actually 179 topics up to this point, books and topics and guests. But the core theme is your life is what you make of it. And then your job is what you make of it. Your career is what you make of it. And your fitness levels or health span is what you make of it. Your marriage is what you make of it. Your family is what you make of it. Your relationships are what you make of it. And it all overlaps.
It sounds like that what you're saying is our life direction and is up to you.
It is not
someone else.
Predetermined. We could get into that, but not really predetermined. It is what you make of it. So just to dive in, most of the, if I think about this concept and try to discuss, the broad general terms I just laid out, but like in the detail portion of it, people might hear that and go, "Oh, great, Sid, there you go again." But how do I even get started? And my first thought would be, well, it's just discipline first. I always remember. You ever heard Kobe Bryant in some of his interviews where he says, "I make a commitment to myself. If I'm supposed to get up at 5:30 in the morning, I don't change that commitment. When the alarm goes off, I don't wrestle with it anymore. I just get up and do it." Now, I wrestle with it. And the alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning. And this morning in particular, it was Friday. And I was just like, golly, I don't really have to get up if I don't want to, and I hit snooze and that thing went off again. And I was like, oh man. And, the inner dialogue starts. And I remembered this morning, Kobe Bryant saying, I made a commitment. My bag was already packed. My stuff was already laid out. I'm just going to go.
If there's anybody that reminds me of Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Who's that?
It's you.
Oh, it's me?
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 foot.
The Mamba mentality.
6 foot. Yeah. Bald African-American gentleman. Rather attractive. And worth about, 500 million. Yeah. That's not me. But so discipline is kind of I think the core aspect of what kicks off this culture or this overlap in the rest of your life, where the discipline to do that and you sort of overcome that and you just get the positive reinforcement, I guess is the best word. But I just went ahead and went to jiujitsu, went ahead and had a good time, went ahead and had some really good rounds. Like today was there were a lot of rounds. I tried a bunch of different things. I've been working on some secret stuff to get to Keith whenever I see him again, and to have a whole new arsenal of attacks. And it was just a good time. And I was thinking about that I could have just cashed it in and slept until whatever and got up and drank my coffee and relaxed. but I wouldn't have gotten any better. And there's a balance there. Sometimes you do need to rest, but like, you know, that you get that positive reinforcement and it sort of propels you forward.
Sometimes I'll say you don't need to do the familiar. Like you were talking about, you were trying something new.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've been doing that. I've been pulling guard. And
I've been pulling guard for a long time. You remember I was telling you, I was like, man, I just pulled guard. And I pulled guard with you a couple of times and I just got crushed, you know? But who cares?
Yeah. Yesterday.
Did you pull guard yesterday?
Yeah, on a big boy.
Who, Wes?
No. Have you rolled? He's a white belt, but he's huge. Ursel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought you were going to say
he's strong.
Yeah, he's super strong.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we nerd out on jiu-jitsu, but so just trying something different. That's another pathway of kind of developing a culture that's going to overlap in other aspects of your life, of thinking outside the box, doing something different than what you always do, because here's the cliche, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're always going to get what you've been getting, you know, and nothing changes unless something changes, you know, nothing changes if nothing changes, that whole thing. Those cliches are real, man.
But let me reiterate. We're trying new stuff outside of the competition.
That's a good point.
And
man, that's a really good one I didn't think about. Yeah.
A lot of times.
Say that again.
We're trying new stuff outside of the ring, outside of the mat.
Yeah.
Where competition happens.
Yes.
We're trying it where the consequences of our actions are minimized.
They are. And I'm not trying 18 different things.
I did leave bleeding.
Yeah, well, that happens. Happens to me a lot.
Yeah, but you know that old man thing where we get thin skin, I guess.
Yeah. Thin, brittle skin.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but my problem has been is I've tried the new stuff right in the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
That don't go very well.
Don't try new things when it matters.
Yeah, in business.
Yeah.
I've been let's roll this out.
Yeah. Yeah, not a good idea.
Hey, guys, I want to tell you about my friend Wes Cody. He's the president of C2 Wealth Strategies, a financial advisory firm dedicated to providing personalized solutions for your financial needs. Wes and his team of professionals are passionate about helping clients create wealth and achieve financial freedom. At C2 Wealth Strategies, they believe in taking a holistic approach to financial planning and are committed to building long-lasting relationships with their clients, ensuring their financial well-being every step of the way. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Contact Wes and C2 Wealth today at c2wealth.com to schedule a consultation. Let Wes and his team help you build your financial future.
If you're a small business owner looking to take your business to the next level, listen up. My good friend Chris Francis has spent over 20 years growing his tree care business to national success. Now he's partnered with Rick Miller, you've probably heard him here on the podcast before, Harvard MBA, and business consultant to create Roadmap for Growth, an online course to help you scale, build teams, and create systems that last. It's not just for the tree industry. This course applies to any small service business. Check out treebusiness.com or hit the link on the Overlap homepage to learn more. And this is ultimately what I wanted to talk about was just those things that we put ourselves in, whether that's jiu-jitsu or workouts, is where, this is the key point, is where things show up in the other aspects of our life that really matter, like at work, our career, or like with our families, you know. So the discipline to do what we're supposed to do, what we made a commitment to do, is easy to get quick reps with that through the workout or jiu-jitsu or something else. So when it does come time for you to ultimately need to make that call, have that tough discussion, shut down a division or a product line, or make a change from vendors or contractors that's going to be a little painful, you've built up the muscle in being disciplined enough to sort of do that. That's where I wanted to start, and that's the concept of it. So Keith's already brought the trying things outside. That's a good one.
And I would say discipline is a muscle.
It is 100%.
As I've worked that muscle, it's become stronger. Like
at work,
at
because
work,
now you're working. You are working.
Yeah.
I mean, like way more than normal. Like,
well, sure.
It's a funny thing with all of us, but it's noticeable. You're there all the time,
right? And maybe that is ideal sometimes.
Sometimes
take a break and then be inspired by something to where you put your all in it.
Yeah.
And so I can say right now with what I'm getting to do and what I'm getting to build, I'm really inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably as inspired as anything I've ever worked on.
That's right.
And so, and for me, it takes that. It takes inspiration sometimes to be disciplined for me.
Yeah.
If I lose that inspiration, I have a tendency to slack off.
I'm with you.
Which may be a bad trait. It probably is. But I think every entrepreneur
I was about to say
is that way.
Yeah.
Like we have to be inspired.
If I don't feel the juice, I'm not really into it. And
I would love to say I just have discipline in all areas, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't have discipline in all areas. I have discipline in areas that I feel matter the most.
Right.
I don't have discipline to floss my teeth.
No,
it's
I don't
probably
either.
really important.
I think it is important.
Not probably. It's important. I'm sure that, the dentists that are listening, I know there's a couple of them, are going to say, yeah, well, it'll cause cancer if you don't. I don't know. But there's that.
I don't have discipline in not smoking a cigar.
Oh, yeah. I have discipline not smoking. It doesn't take any discipline for me to not smoke a cigar. I just don't. I've tried them plenty of times. I just don't like them.
What I'm saying is I do.
I know.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things I've chosen to let. And there's things in the discipline world.
Yeah.
Just as the same in the gym world. Like I've chosen not to do overhead squats.
Oh my God, me too. Me too. I'm 46 and I don't need them in my life.
I don't see ever a situation where I'm going to have to put Stephanie above my head and squat. I just don't. I don't know.
No. Yeah. So I
may have to carry her out of a river one
My
day.
wife, the CrossFit coach who loves an overhead squat, would be like, oh, well, no, it's not about that. It's about balance and mobility and all of that stuff. And, forcing yourself to increase mobility to the point where you can do it. And I was like, yeah, but I just don't care.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't, I'm not inspired by that anymore.
I think
I worked pretty hard on it for a while.
Yeah, me too.
And I got okay, but not near like anything.
I think it's more valuable for me to be able to jump up on a box and jump off the other side than
probably.
It is to do an overhead squat.
And run a mile in under probably 8 minutes is probably pretty important. Squat at least my body weight, probably 2 times my body weight. 3 times would be even better. Deadlift 2 times my body weight. 2.5 I think is what it's supposed to be, right? And then bench press, 1.5 times your body weight. All those things. Those are important to me.
Yeah.
And then be able to know how to choke somebody with a gi on or without a gi. Those are good. Takedowns, take the back. Mm-hmm. That's important to me. Mm-hmm. And it's just fun. Hey, one aspect of the gym, whether that's CrossFit or Planet Fitness or jiujitsu, a lot in jiujitsu, is resilience. That is an aspect that sort of bleeds over into other parts of at least my business life and family life. The resilience, let me lay the foundation for that here, is that if you're going to be in the jiu-jitsu game for any period of time, if you're starting out as a white belt, you're taking a big leap. And if you're 34 years old and you say, hey, I'm going to start jiu-jitsu, that's intimidating. You overcome that. You get out there, and first 6 classes, you're just everything about what you think you are has been shattered because you thought you were tough. You thought you were strong and that was going to matter. And you realize that the little guy that weighs 140 pounds just wrapped you up like a pretzel. And you go, oh my God, this is something I had no idea. These people were right. Once you get past that and you start moving forward in jiu-jitsu, what 100% is going to happen is that you're going to get some little injury here or there, whether it's a knee or, a shoulder. Most of the time there's fingers. You might get your ear rubbed so hard that, it breaks the what do you call that?
The skin.
Not the skin.
You mean cauliflower ear?
Yeah, but what is that? What is that?
Insane in the membrane.
Yeah, well, there's oh my God.
Our friend Jourdain, who's the pastor, who's one of the pastors at the church, sprained his knee. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone sprain their knee.
I didn't either. But when you're a white belt, you move the wrong direction. That's the only thing I said. I was like, oh yeah, you probably went the wrong way. You probably turned into, basically heel hooking yourself.
Right.
And
that'll
by the grace of God, there goes I. I didn't do that only by accident. But resilience, right? And I was talking to Jourdain today, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, hey, man, you're kind of in the game now. Like, if every little injury stops you, you're never going to get to where you're trying to be. And most people want to be good enough to get a black belt. Not most people. Most people in the jiu-jitsu game, they say, oh man, that's where I would like to be. So good, so comfortable, have so many weapons in my arsenal that I'm relaxed on the mat and I can handle myself really well. And, I've got a mastery of this sport or this, style of martial arts. But you're never going to get there if every little injury sort of sets you back or stops you, The same thing happens in business is that if you're in the business game and you've got this dream that you're going to, you're going to own your own business and we're going to scale to this level, or you got into the corporate world and you're going to make yourself so valuable that you find yourself in the C-suite or whatever it is, it's going to take time, so some patience, and it's going to take resilience because there's going to be some bad days. There's going to be some mess ups. There's going to be some hurt involved. If you're going to be married and stay married until you both die, there's real resilience involved in that. And my wife hates it. Not hates it. She probably is okay with it now. She used to hate it where I'd go, there'll be an argument and I'll go, it's fine. And she goes, it's not fine. I go, look, I can be right or I can be married. And I choose to stay married. It doesn't matter to me at this point. And she used to hate that. But it really is just, we're going to have a difference in opinions. But I'm resilient enough at this point to go, I would much rather be married than to win this stupid little argument. I'd much rather get my black belt than to let a torn rotator cuff stop me from training, when I can ultimately get back on it, or get blasted in my ear so hard that it swells up like a freaking fruit, or a vegetable, all those things. And I'm not doing the best endorsement of jiu-jitsu, but my fingers, almost every one of them, including both thumbs, have been broken. I think I haven't broken my left ring finger for whatever reason. So resilience, I think that's culture that carries over in all aspects of your life. If you're in the CrossFit space or even Planet Fitness, you're going to have some injuries. Torn biceps, I see that plenty of times with people deadlifting. You're going to deadlift heavy at Planet Fitness, probably not warm up enough, probably got a reverse grip, and you're going too heavy too quick, and that thing snaps, and that's terrible. Torn pecs, I've seen that a couple of different times. And guys are just bench pressing, and it just goes, I don't know why. Back injuries, or you're running, you roll your ankle, hamstrings all the time. Those kind of things happen. But if you let that just stop you completely, all of that work you've done, you just lose. You get unfit. You lose all of it, and then you're back to where you don't want to be.
I would much rather be sore from doing something than sore from laying on my tail. And just like in business.
Laying on my tail.
Just like in business.
Yeah.
I would much rather lose money from actually trying something than losing money from inactivity.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'd much rather make some bad sales trying to get things going.
How many times do you meet with people our age? 30, 32.
Yeah, 32. Yeah. Yeah, those people.
And they say, I just walk around sore all the time because I don't do anything. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm walking around sore all the time because I'm getting my tail kicked.
Yeah, I'm sore now.
I'm lifting weights. I'm running. My back's sore because I tried to deadlift too much. I'd much rather do that. I'd much rather be the person that has the battle scars of being in battle versus sitting on my tail.
Well, and I think, and I'm probably a terrible point of reference on this because I don't know that it's all that common, but I kind of like feeling sore. Now, there's some sore where there was a couple of weeks ago where I was so sore it was bad. Did I tell you about the 100 back squat deal that we did?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid. And it was stupid, and I paid for it for the next 4 or 5 days. It was terrible. I don't like being that sore. But like right now, and most of this week, I've been marginally sore, not debilitating sore, and I like it. I don't know. I've just the wiring in my brain has been wired over the last decade or two that means that I'm on the path, that I'm moving forward, that this is good, I just feel better about eating, all the things. I haven't heard many people say they're sore from not doing anything. I have heard plenty of people our age, 32, 34, whatever, saying, oh, I'm too old for that. And I'm like, my God, man, you're not. Like, you've got 40 more years left in you. How great are you going to be in 10 years from now if you just get started today? If you're 45 and you're saying you're too old, in 10 years you'll be 55 and you could be working out today and for the next 10 years. And in 10 years, you probably could be in the best shape of your life at 55. And it wouldn't even be that difficult. Like, it would be difficult, but it wouldn't take like some personal coach for 10 years, It would just take a little bit of discipline, resilience. And then the next concept that I wanted to introduce, which is accountability. Accountability is what it would take.
Speaking of resilience and accountability.
Okay.
I was in the gym this week and I was watching. If you want to see excellence at a level that is very uncommon, watch a coach who has coached at the highest level.
Talking about Jason?
Jason was in there coaching, and the way he thought at coaching those guys was just at a different level.
Yeah.
What he was asking them to do, and this goes back to the coaching thing. If you don't have the discipline that you need in your life, in your business, get a pro.
This guy's amazing.
Like, we need to have him on the podcast.
We do.
Just to talk about excellence.
He's amazing.
Because I told him, I walked to him, I said, hey, I don't know if you realize this, but what I just watched was a masterclass in life, not coaching.
Really?
Yeah. And it was pretty phenomenal watching how he was taking those, and he was coaching some beast.
Oh, yeah. All black belts.
Yeah. All black belts. And it was just really amazing. I told him.
Young.
And this guy has coached at
super athletic.
Like the highest level.
Yeah.
He's an Olympic coach.
Yeah.
And so if these strategies that we're talking about is far-fetched for you, you may need a coach.
You may need a coach.
And you may need to make sure you need to vet those people. Yeah. And they need to be excellent at what they coach in.
Yeah. Man, that's good. But in the accountability aspect is where you're talking about. Like it helps you get over the accountability aspect. Helps you get over the other two that we just talked about.
Well, the accountability aspect, we always look for people to donate their time to us. And sometimes we reach a level as entrepreneurs that people that donate their time can't answer our questions because they're not even where we are.
There you go.
And so it's why I spend money on coaches. It's why I go to conferences. It's why I go put myself in like places that experts are. And sometimes that costs you.
I would say lots of times.
And if it's not costing you, you're probably not got the right person.
Or you're just, you really don't have a whole lot of accountability because you don't have a whole lot of skin in the game.
Right. I've also been very blessed in my life to have very, very, very high qualified people around me. But it's because I put myself in their circles.
Yeah. So that accountability aspect helps you get over the discipline and the resilience aspect, where it's a little bit easier to get up when the alarm goes off, or leave at lunch to go to, instead of going and eating Doritos and scrolling through Instagram, heading to meet the bros or whatever, or your coach at the gym. It's easy. It makes it a little bit easier. You still have to have some discipline. You still have to actually do it, but someone's going to be there. It makes it, that accountability makes it easier. The resilience aspect is that with the accountability, with a group or a coach can help you work through any injury. The right coach. The coach can help you, get back or rehab from an injury. And you've got some skin in the game, like you're paying this person. So you're just going to show up. But if you've got like the support group of like a jiu-jitsu class or just a CrossFit class, or like just a group of guys that meet on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. at Planet Fitness, you develop those bonds. You just kind of don't want to let people down, So that support and accountability just helps you get through that. So the overlap there is in business and life. In business, there's, like you said, there's peer groups, there's personal coaches, there's conferences, there's online coaching, there's all kinds of things that can help you stay disciplined, consistent, and resilient. Consistent, I'm just kind of throwing there in the back end that I'll get to that in a minute. But the same thing happens in marriages or relationships, or dare I say it, your life with God or whatever. There's people there that you can sort of connect with to help you get through those aspects of life too.
Hey, let me tell you about a friend of the show called Content Fresh. Since they've taken over our social media for the Overlap podcast, we've seen incredible growth. When you combine the growth from all social platforms, we're looking at a massive increase of 2,235%. This partnership has truly transformed our reach and engagement. If you're passionate about growing your business, partnering with Content Fresh could be a game changer for you. Go to overlaplife.com and click on sponsors today.
I want to take a moment to talk about someone who's been instrumental in my personal and business success. That's Johnny Barranco and his team at Barranco & Associates. For over 7 years, Johnny has been my go-to accountant and financial consultant. I can tell you that he's more than just a tax preparer. Johnny takes a holistic approach to all my financial dealings, aligning them with my long-term plans and personal lifestyle. I've recommended Johnny to several friends throughout different business groups around the country, and the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional. His expertise and service are top-notch. So if you're looking for someone who not only prepares your taxes, but also helps you strategize for the future, Johnny and his team at Barranco & Associates are the ones to call. Trust me, you won't regret it. So contact Johnny Barranco today and take the first steps towards financial peace.
I had the opportunity to meet with, if I said his name, and I can't say his name, and so that's kind of name dropping. But a very famous individual in the world of business. And I asked him, I said, call him Joe. I said, Joe, if you could look back at your life, and this guy's 20 years older than us. And I said...
So 50.
Yeah, so 50, yeah. I said, if you could look back into your life, I said, can you give me one thing that you would do different? And he said, I would move the people out of my life quicker that needed to get out.
Oh, okay.
He said, I would move the people out of my kid's life that needed to get out.
Oh, that's even harder. Okay.
He said, it's the one thing I didn't do. It's the one thing that cost me today.
Oh.
He said, in my relationships, in my business, in my personal lives, in my marriage.
Huh.
He said, had I done that, I wouldn't be divorced. My kids wouldn't have struggled like they do. And if I'd been more proactive in moving people out of my life that should be out of my life.
So maybe he needed a mentor that he could have a conversation about that with. And
he said, you become who is around you.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, it's the thing that has plagued my existence.
Huh.
And this guy's, and I'm thinking, God, I wish I had those people around me. Thinking about where this guy is.
Party. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And so and same in the gym. Like there's no way. I know that I'm not where I need to be. But there's no way I would be as far as I am now without the people that I have around me.
Yeah.
And the people that call me every day and say, hey, fat ass, get to the gym.
Y'all, if you could see our group text, it's hilarious and brutal all at the same time.
And beautiful.
It's good stuff.
In every
and
way.
It's been going on for a long time.
It really has. And if we published it, we would be in a lot of trouble.
Or we'd make a lot of money.
Yeah,
we
would
make a lot of money. It should be like just... They should just take those as tweets or something.
Yeah.
Like that one Twitter that was what shit my dad says.
Yeah.
God, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted us to spend a little time on how culture carries over and the overlaps in all aspects of life. And I think in my mind, the best way to get the culture, the results that you want in the areas that matter the most, that take the most time, which would be, family, relationships, life in general, and then career, work, finances, being, maybe a close second. The best way of doing that, in my mind, in my experience as well, is what's the word I'm looking for? But the self-selected, the voluntary reps with, group suffering, or personal suffering. Just little things that I'm going to do every day or 3 times a week or whatever to better my life, my health span, my enjoyment of life or whatever. Those things just transcend and start to become not I'm going to lose weight. It turns into this is who I am. It transcends from I'm going to try jiujitsu and then hopefully I lose weight, turning into this is a lifestyle. And next thing I know, I've got cauliflower ear and tattoos. I'm not saying that needs to happen to you. You don't have to go all in like that. You don't have to own a jiu-jitsu gym. You don't have to. Never mind. Just lots of crazy things. Build a big building and hope that people come, and sure hope this thing works out.
But it worked out.
God, it really shouldn't have, though.
When you stepped in, I told you over the weekend when I walked in there and I saw those kids at the jiu-jitsu gym.
Dude.
I couldn't even hold it together.
Dude. Look, here's the real truth. We were working out in a little garage that didn't have a bathroom and it didn't have a door. It had a garage door. There was a separator, like a chain link fence between like the rest of this garage space. And there's no reason we should have done what we did. And I was so adamant that this is what we're going to do. And I just felt this is what we have to do. And I can't tell you why, and it's just going to work out. And my wife is a planner and very logical, and she just kept asking me, are you sure? Because that was a lot of money on the line, a lot. Even today, it would still be a lot, And I was like, no, it has to. I think it's going to. I think it will really work. Thank God it did, because like you said, man, how many kids were there? Belt promotion Saturday. Hundreds. There's over 250 students at that academy now. And when we started, we didn't even have a coach. We didn't have a professor. They let us have a purple belt guy that was 24 years old that couldn't speak English.
Yep.
And no place to live.
And now we have a sauna.
We have a sauna. We have a cold plunge. The cold plunge is nice. I was running late to get to you. I was going to get in the cold plunge. Now we have Bible study on Friday mornings.
I know. How cool is that?
It's freaking cool. And Keith really made me aware as people started to come and seeing what we had. And because I wasn't thinking about it, but yeah, I'll never forget. There was a guy that was there that was at another gym and didn't really like it and finally made the change. And you could see his eyes open up, and you go, man, we have something I don't think we realize, that this community is just something different, where people love being here and people love kind of helping each other get better. And it's not there's not a lot of infighting and backbiting and all this other stuff. It's a pretty beautiful community that wants to help everyone to become better. And it just turned out that way. Thank God, because it did affect all my life. Yeah. Look at Keith. Keith was looking something up and his microphone went off. But that's probably where we need to finish that. You got any closing thoughts on the overlaps in life, family, fitness, faith, parenting?
All of it. Make sure you're looking at all of it, all aspects of life.
Yeah.
It all bleeds.
It does.
It all crosses in some way, somehow.
Yeah.
You can't be the person. One of the things I've really been thinking about is the scripture talks a lot about strife. And I think that the guy that I was meeting with yesterday, and this is what he was coming to, because he's a person of faith, and we were talking about faith, and he was talking about the places where strife is. It always hinders us from the calling and potential that the Creator has for us. And so anywhere that there is strife, the Bible says that there's every evil work. And so you may need to look at that in your life.
That's too theologically deep for me to handle. But one thing I will say is that
well, think about it. If you have a bad culture, and we're talking about culture here,
if there's
a bad culture, nothing can grow there.
That's true. Well, and that's where I thought you were saying, and that's where I was. The overlaps there, and I didn't really land the plane on it, but let me just mention it, is that at work, or if you're running your own business, and obviously, the academy, the CrossFit gym, those are businesses, legitimate businesses. But they were built on an idea from gyms that we were at, that we saw strife, if you will, infighting, backbiting, nickel and diming, just petty type of behavior. And we were committed to make sure that it didn't ever act like that. And so we led in a way that created a culture that ultimately blossomed. And if you've got a business, you're in a business, you're trying to develop a business, what kind of culture are you going to set? And that's what you're accountable to. Can you be consistent with that? Can you be resilient with that? Can you stay strong with it, because it's easy to start. I remember several times we were like, oh, we just need to create these rules and put these rules out there. And I was like, no. The culture will dictate that. If we act a certain way, everyone else will. Everything rises and falls from leadership, and people will see how we behave. And that has kind of rang true at all of those different businesses. And so culture carries over. The overlaps in life are real, hence the freaking podcast name and meaning and everything else. And hopefully you got something out of that. I think that's all I've got on this topic. Keith, you got anything else?
Yeah, I do. Hey, talking about culture.
Okay.
The sponsors we have.
Yes.
They've got great culture around them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we've asked them to be part of the show. And I'm just humbled, quite frankly, that they believe in us the way they do. And they have sponsored. If you look at some of our sponsors, they started on day one with us.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really awesome. So I would love you to, if you have tax needs,
just
go see Johnny.
I was talking to Johnny. I was at Johnny's office yesterday.
If you need health plans for your business, call Wes.
Or financial planning.
Yeah, or financial planning, or anything in the finance world, call Wes. All those guys make a huge difference. And so, and they support us no matter what. And so go see them, call them. And they can, no matter where you are in the country, they can take care of you.
Yep, 100%. All right. Thanks so much.
Peace.